Welcome to today's First Impressions video. Today we're looking at Japanese Drift Master or JDM. This game releases on the 21st of May, but I've been very lucky to get my hands on it a little bit early. As you can see, a lot of the features are locked, and unfortunately I can't tell you whether this is due to the beta mode or whether the fact I just haven't unlocked it in game yet. The game does not do a very good job of telling you what it is you've got to do to unlock certain things. You're just kind of left to your own devices. However, what I can say is my time on this game so far has been quite enjoyable, although rather frustrating because I am absolutely horrible at it. What I will say is the graphics are a little bit arcadey as well, but we'll get into that when I show you some gameplay. As always, we'll look through the options first, and then we'll jump straight into the meat of the game and let you guys decide whether this is going to be for you or not. Your options are a little bit confusing as well. The actual options that you get are very robust, but for some reason the game doesn't do a very good job at scanning your system. What I mean by this is the graphics in general, but also some of the keybinds and things don't really match up, even though it knows what wheel I've got. For your assists and driving, you can change from the ABS to the ESP. You can have those on or off. You've got your gearbox auto and driving model arcade, enable automatic reverse. What's interesting is that that doesn't work. No matter how long I press the brake pedal for or how hard I press it, nothing happens until I use the flappy paddles on my steering wheel to change it into reverse manually. A little bit annoying. Then you've got your gamepad and keyboard assist if you want to plug a gamepad in and play with that instead. Force feedback and haptics. I have turned the force feedback and haptics up to maximum for me personally because the wheel felt a bit wishy-washy until I did. I've got all of my dead zones set to 0. You're probably going to want to mess with those and get those how you want, but honestly 0 seems to be the most accurate when you're using a wheel. And then I've left the car sensitivity settings at 75%, which is default. You've then got automatic wipers, lights, and hazard lights, and then you can turn your traffic on or off, and you can say how much traffic you actually want in the game as well. Then you've got your steering assists and your steering keybinds that you can do. You've got your keyboard, and you've got your steering wheel, and then if I've got a gamepad plugged in, you can choose that as well. Like I say, the steering wheel comes up and it has all of the buttons laid out as they should be, but in the game down here you can see it's listed as 1 and 0 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and you've got to work out what each of those buttons are whilst you're in the game. Also, it doesn't seem to detect my Thrustmaster farm stick or my SimTask control panel yet, which is really annoying because it would be really good to have those to set some of the buttons as the handbrake and things like that, so I'm not trying to break my thumb whilst pressing the button and steering at the same time. Your audio options, you have got a number of radios in the game. I'm probably going to have those switched off because I don't know if they're going to be copyright free or not. But you've got your overall UI, music, traffic, engine, environment, tyre, and crash volume. So you've got plenty of different sounds that you can mess with there to get it how you want. What I will say is that it does turn everything up to 100% when you start the game, so you're going to have to be aware of that as well. Your graphics settings, interestingly enough, it keeps changing my graphics settings back to low, and then even though I've got and turned all these to ultra, it still classes it as low. I don't quite know what's going on there. It chooses your monitor and your display mode, and then you can change your FPS cap and VSync. Interestingly enough, if you turn your VSync on, it doesn't disable your FPS cap, which is a bit weird. You've got your resolution upscaling and your preset, and then you've got your brightness as well. And then, like I say, you've got all of your different settings here that you can change for different settings, and it turns mine all onto low by default, which is a bit strange. For context, I'm running a i9 10 series and a 4060 Ti 16 gig with 64 gig of 3200 speed RAM, so I really shouldn't be having any issues. So I don't know why the system seems to think that I should have it on the lowest quality settings going. And then you've got your gameplay settings as well. So you've got your language. Your manga reading assist is going to be incredibly useful because manga is backwards. Your units, color blindness correction if you want that on, and color blindness intensity. I have it switched off because I am 37 years old and at this point it really doesn't help me, but if you have color blindness, it is fantastic to see this in the game. You can have your camera preset as well, and then you've got your FOVs for your driver head movement and all your other things there, your open world camera, drift events, and all of this good stuff, your camera shake, and then you've got your effects as well. All in all, a very, very robust menu. I do think that the scanning and optimization could probably be a little bit better, and the music is probably a little bit loud. Sort out the display for what buttons I actually need to be pressing, and you're on to a winner. I want to take a second to show you your career options here. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought this is the button you were going to play to go into the career, and the button on the left was just going to be for free mode. That's not actually the way. The button on the left is your career. This just shows you your career stats, if you will. So you got your player card here. You can see what level you are. You can see, you know, how long you've been playing. You can see all of your other stats as well down here. And if you go to this one, you've got your car. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to look around your car. This is very disappointing for me specifically, because I love looking at the car, and you can't customize it yet. Again, I don't know if that's because it's locked behind the game modes, or whether it's locked behind the game not being released yet. I'm not entirely sure, but it is kind of frustrating. I just want to look around it. Also, this does give you an idea of the state of the graphics, and like I say, it's very arcadey, a little bit dated, but still very, very nice and high quality at the same time. You can then scroll down here and you can see all the stats that you've got with this car and your car level as well. So once you're in the game, you start in your garage. You can see your car and you can press a button to look behind you. You see your lights on and the way that they're flickering and all that cool stuff. Like I say, it's high quality, but also quite dated in its style. You've got your smartphone and you can press your button there to bring it up. And then you can go through your career, you can go through your manga, you can go through any missions you've got available, you can go through your assists, and you can go through your messages. There is one more option here that is still grayed out. You can also check your map. Now you press the button to bring up your map, and you can see here what you've got available, and there's only a couple of things that you can actually click on right now. You got your next mission, and then you've got your coming soon down here. You've got speed cameras and things that you can head to get a new record. And as you can see, the map is quite extensive. It's quite big. It's quite impressive, actually. So if you go down to the mission, you will see the storyboard that you've got, your reward, track length, and what it is you've got to do. You can also just drive around and do random stuff, and you can also go to previous places that you've already been, i.e. drifting school, to learn how to really grip and drift your car. The tutorials are not great, if I'm honest. They kind of tell you what you've got to do without telling you what you've got to do. Like, it says press your clutch to help the drift, but it doesn't say how to press the clutch to help your drift. And things like that, which are just kind of a little bit annoying. But how does the car drive? Like a wild beast, it is very clearly set up for drifting, and as a result, it doesn't matter how little you turn that wheel, it is going to want to kill you. It's going to want to take you off the track, and it takes a lot of effort to keep it on the track. It takes a lot of effort to keep it on the road, and you will spin out very, very easily, and it is very, very punishing as the game goes. You can rack up points as you drive around and do some drifts, and traffic will just stay in your way. Now, like I say, there is no visible damage to the cars. It is very, very arcadey in that moment. Like, you get a few sparks here and there, but overall, it doesn't really do a lot. The other problem, like I said as well in the options, is that no matter how long I stay on the brake pedal, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of sits there in neutral, not moving, which is not ideal. But luckily I do have flappy paddles, and that makes it a little bit easier, and if you've got a manual shift gearbox, it's probably going to be easier still. It does look very pretty. It is very, very fun, no matter how difficult it is and how bad at the game I am. What's nice is that you do have to use your clutch. Clutching is very, very helpful in drifting because it allows you to sort of control your speed without controlling your speed. Whilst it's very good, I am still no good at it, and I am probably not the person to look at for good gameplay. I enjoy these types of games, and I can see me putting a lot of hours just to try and get to a standard that is somewhat average, but honestly, it's a lot of fun, and hopefully if the new tuning and new cars and things open up, which I'm assuming I've got to do through the story, then I'm going to have a much nicer time of it, because as we all know, the basic car in game that you get dealt with is often just not that great. It either isn't as fast or it doesn't perform as good, and the way that this thing wants to eat me alive definitely makes me feel like I could probably get away with upgrading some parts to help with that. Overall, a very, very fun game. One that I am enjoying. I feel like it could probably do with a little bit more direction to help players, especially if you're new or haven't really picked up a drift game before, and you're probably better off, if you are in that category, using a gamepad over a wheel. However, with so many games coming out recently that are driving games that do not have wheel support on release, it is definitely something I'm going to be very happy with, and I'm going to try out, because why wouldn't you play a driving game with a wheel on PC in 2025? Let me know in those comments down below what you think outside of my bad driving, and I will see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.